Hey Simmers, I'm back with another speed build, and I'll try not to move my chair because you hear it on the microphone. And yes, I edited the start down. As I said on Monday, this is based on a movie I like, which is also a musical. Uh, I'm not going to say which one until I start building. Here we are starting. Again, we're in Forbidden Hallow. I like the spooky aspect of it. I'm kind of working out a few things here to get what I wanted. When I was working on this, I did have a reference photo up. I did this so that I could kind of make it the way I want it, make it look similar to the setting in the movie. Uh, there's some changes from what you might have very, very, very briefly glimpsed on the Monday's uh, build tour. Yes, this is time 16, so yes, we're flying because this was like a 2.5 hour build. I kind of gave it a Tudor exterior because of setting up the actual game. The only problem is with the inside walls, they end up being, because I'm using some roofing as walling, you end up with the outside wall and the inside, but there's nothing I could do about that. Here's me working out a bit of the floor plan. I had to double check to make sure certain spots of it lined up properly so that it would work correctly. Uh, there's three sections to this. There is the upstairs loft, the downstairs bakery, and the living quarters attached to it. The upstairs loft, uh, and it's not the upstairs loft. When we get to decorating it, we'll probably give it away what movie this is supposed to be, or even saying bakery might give it away. The idea of this was is the owner of the bakery has fallen on hard times. And this should give it away. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's based on Sweeney Todd. So we have the bakery and the house on the one bakery on the one spot. I had to make sure those stains is lined up as best as I could to the chair I set upstairs, because you can't do trapdoors in The Sims, unfortunately. So yeah, the idea of this was based on Sweeney Todd. So yeah, here we are, me putting this in and then trying to make sure that kind of lines up with the stains on the floor where the body would have dropped through. I the lighting in part of it is will be off because the way the roofing's done to make the glass area. Some of it counts as outside, but that's fine. The owner, it's sparsely probably it's a lot of the more expensive items and decorating and all that would have been sold by now. Much of the build, much like all the other ones, I'm using candle lighting for it to give it a more creepy vibe. I did do some decorating. Yes, there are piles of bones everywhere. Trust me, you should be happy this is time 60 because I spent so much time placing all these fake meat cubes, is what they call them in game. I realized that I couldn't use that. I never did use the red shelf. I just put it in there just in case I need it. Once placing those baking pans down, they're there. Like I couldn't move them or anything. So the idea is you have the uncooked meat on the one side and cooked meat on the other, being used to make her meat pies. I tried to keep the similar thing. I kind of decided that there's going to be chimney stacks all over the place. Eventually, I do add a bit of another roof to it, to that other section. I wanted to kind of hide what was going on in the backyard, so we have all this. Again, a lot of the plants and that I used a lot of Realm of Magic, vampire, and spooky stuff to build this place because I wanted the more creepy vibe. The only part, because there's no barber chair, so I used the makeup stand from Get Famous as the barber's chair. So again, going through, making sure you have all this. Like those cabinets should be filled with like dishes and all that, but they must have sold them off. Uh, the upstairs, the third floor, I changed my idea for what it was. Here's me adding the roof. I had to reboot because I was having a glitch. Adding paths. So there isn't much landscaping in that to this. This is very bare bones. Yeah, but it still took 3 hours to build between the two filmings. Here you have tables. So like I said, very little decorations just because the idea was they've sold off a lot of the items that they could sell to just keep their business afloat because they're on hard times. Hence why the buildings all have like the old stained walls and all that from city living. Here's where I decided to change the upstairs. So we have a nursery and a music room. The only reason they still have those two items is because, well, they're on the third floor. And she couldn't afford. I decided to use rundown curtains from spooky stuff. Low city area, some distressed drugs. Again, the idea was this place was supposed to be ran down, creepy, cobwebs. I did all this stuff last, so most of the rest of the decorating I wanted to do was done at this point. So this is why I came back to add the finer details of like stains on the walls, scratch marks, and holes. The whole idea of this place being just it hasn't been upkept. There hasn't been upkept because she just couldn't afford it. So here we are going into the actual build tour. Yeah, there was just me placing up a few other things. Like I said, I set the weather to monsoon so I could have rain and thunder and lightning. This is the bakery. Not very decorated, just bare tables and the stand. So you've got these nice fruit, nice pies and bakery stuff. Just a few paintings, just a few items she was able to hold on to. Then we come into the kitchen, and I should have rotated some of those stains on the floor. At this point, I don't think later on the meat will start being rotting, so there'll be like green stuff coming on it just because it took me so long. So I went back outside, and you get to see just the awesomeness of the storm that I got going for this. And I tried to hold on to Monday's build tours building. I put it up on the screen a couple of times. Let's just say it's another musical TV show. Musical TV show. I think it had a TV show. Uh, it has a movie. I've yet to watch it, but I know all about it. I'm not going to say which one it is, but let's just say I'll give a Sims hint, because if you don't play The Sims, you won't know what this hint means. But it has a cow plant in it. So yeah, that was the apartment. So that's Sweeney Todd's apartment, right above the bakery. I decided to put the Miss Lovett have her living place right next door. So yeah, I'm using the names. So this is their foyer, and as you can see, it's not very clean. Distress. I used Vlad's photo because it's the only stuff that kind of fits in this. So this is what this door does. Yeah, I go back. I go really over there just to show you. Yeah, this stuff's starting to rot. But yeah, that door in the kitchen is a door connecting the places, so she doesn't have to go out onto the street to get into her own house. This place has two bedrooms, not counting the Sweeney Todd's bed in his loft on the second floor, along with the bathroom. I dim the candle lights again, just because I wanted to make it a little bit more, again, eerie and all that. By the time we're done, the thunderstorm's over because I didn't set it long enough, sadly. I figured this is her room because she's got the big wardrobe and the mirror right beside it. There's no mirrors in any of the bathrooms. I figured those were like some of the first items she could sell. The, the stains on the walls. On the third floor, much like other builds where it's more than goes past the second floor, or the speed kind of goes up. Yes, I use the spooky paintings. I assume some of the victims are haunting the paintings now. And the idea is she has the nursery because she took the items from Sweeney Todd's loft from when he had his wife, if you watch the movie, and she put them up there. And then we have the music room, just because I felt like putting an organ and a piano, grand piano, in this build. So yeah, here, and then we go back through the entire place again just to go look at the backyard, so you can see the campfire with the skulls in it a little bit better. So yeah, this back part is where they kind of disposing of the parts of the body they can't use. They burn the skeletons. There's a few that they tried to hide in the trees, as you can see. And as you can see, the storm's over by now. Wish I did a little bit more on the exterior for the walls. Maybe have the stone go up on one wall or something. But yeah, this is the, as you can see, the church from this week's build tour just across the way. And there's next Monday's. And if you figure it out, don't put it in the comments.